This is KGW News at 5.
The great thing about this is it's no appointment necessary. All you have to do is get here, just show up.
Good evening. First at 5 o'clock, the Oregon Health Authority is now offering free vaccinations and booster shots at the Expo Center in North Portland. On top of that, they're also offering testing too. KGW's Joe Ranieri joins us live from the Expo Center. Joe, this is all free and no appointment needed?
Exactly right, Laurel. It's free, no appointment needed, and one of the better parts is it's open all day long, 7 days a week. You can kind of see the line behind me. It's getting a little bit busier since we last chatted during the 4 o'clock show here at the Expo Center in North Portland. And officials tell me with OHA that they're seeing more people coming through here for the need with tests. In North Portland at the Expo Center, the big event is the testing and vaccination site that the Oregon Health Authority just took over from OHSU.
It was a natural transition to OHA because we are standing up all these high volume sites. We had about a week downtime between the transition.
Every day from 9 o'clock in the morning until 7 o'clock at night, this site will be open and you don't have to make an appointment.
The goal of these high volume sites is to minimize any barriers to getting vaccinated or testing. You know, sometimes getting to places can be difficult for people.
Jonathan Modi is a spokesperson with the Oregon Health Authority. He says this site is going to make it a lot easier for people to not only get a vaccination shot and booster, but also get tested for COVID-19.
There is definitely higher demand for tests right now, and I think that speaks to the situation with the Omicron variant. You know, it is very transmissible, highly infectious.
On Monday afternoon, after only being open for about 5 hours, they had tested more than 250 people and vaccinated 30 people.
And it's the PCR, you know, and this is really, these testing sites are a way to complement kind of what we're doing on the at-home testing option.
That's different from the rapid test where you can find out a little quicker on the results. Results from the PCR test can take anywhere from 1 to 3 days. One woman we spoke to was relieved to find a place where she could just drive to.
I was kind of impressed this was out there. I'm still waiting for a call from my doctor and to know that we found this online through Oregon.gov and it was accessible and just this whole process. We were kind of impressed.
And it's a process that OHA wants to make as easy as possible.
Take TriMet, drive, if you want to walk up, whatever you need.
And Laurel, as you just heard there from Jonathan, you can just walk through here. You don't necessarily need a car to come out here to the Expo Center. We did see at least a couple of hundred people come through here over the last several hours or so. Now, OHA tells me they expect to have this site open until at least to the end of next month, but they tell me if demand is high enough, they will extend that. Laurel, back to you.
Well, it's much needed. Thank you, Joe. Today, 6 schools in the Portland Public School District reopened after being closed due to staffing shortages and the Omicron variant. The schools closed because there weren't enough staff to keep the buildings open during the COVID surge. Now, there are just 3 middle schools that will remain closed until February 1st. Administrators say after a meeting with the district's health advisor today, things seem to be getting better in the district.
He believes, in our conversations, that the peak actually already happened here in this region. Students' absence rates are going down. We are starting to see, staff absence rates also going down.
He says 86% of schools have remained open throughout the surge, and the priority continues to be keeping schools open for in-person learning. COVID has been in the U.S. for 2 years now, and experts are looking forward to what it will take to move past the pandemic. We talked with Dr. Jennifer Vines and Jessica Guernsey with Multnomah County Health about this topic. They say climbing out of the pandemic may be slow, but they hope it's steady. They also talked about learning from these past couple of years, especially when it comes to inequalities in our healthcare system.
When people ask me, are we ever going back? We shouldn't go back. We shouldn't go back. And what I mean broadly by that is that we have numerous health outcomes that are devastating in BIPOC communities that we need to continue to focus on.
Also, instead of focusing on an end to the pandemic, what's more realistic is preparing for when COVID will become less disruptive in our day-to-day lives. Now to COVID self-tests and the role they play in helping us track COVID surges. While they don't get counted in official CDC data, they can help in other ways. Brandon Lewis has a closer look in tonight's Verify.
Rapid at-home tests are an easy way to find out if anyone in your family has COVID-19. Verify viewer Judy reached out to us on our @VerifyThis Facebook page to ask whether the CDC reports at-home test results. So, let's verify. Does the CDC count positive results from at-home COVID-19 tests in its case data? Our sources are the CDC and the Association of Public Health Laboratories. The CDC says at-home tests are intended to be an early line of defense against COVID-19. The agency tells Verify that it recommends people who test positive report the result to their doctor, who may order a second in-office test. However, the CDC says, quote, the U.S. government cannot require the reporting of over-the-counter test results. And because self-tests cannot be verified, the data from self-testing is unreliable for public health analysis and action, unquote. So, no, the CDC does not count positive results from at-home COVID-19 tests in its case data. However, some state or local health officials are requesting but not mandating people report positive at-home results. The Association of Public Health Laboratories worked to launch an exposure notification app in more than 24 states. You can use it to notify potential close contacts who also use the app. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
The Portland Police Bureau's new focused intervention team has arrested a man wanted in 2 shootings from last year. Police say 39-year-old Carlos Rodriguez Lanz shot a woman on Northeast Broadway last August. She was seriously hurt but survived. Officers say he then shot a man in October in the same area, this time on Northeast Holiday Street near the convention center. That man survived life-threatening injuries. Police arrested Rodriguez Lanz on Saturday during a traffic stop on North Lombard. The focused intervention team was created to take on gun violence and officially started operations last week. Police in Gresham have arrested a woman related to a fire at a historic building. 43-year-old Sarah Arndt is accused of arson at Walker Travel at the corner of Division and Main Streets in Gresham. The building also houses the Gresham Chamber of Commerce. The fire started at about 2 this morning. The porch and the front rooms were damaged. Fortunately, no one was hurt. Multiple Portland businesses are dealing with burglaries they fear could force their doors to close. An entire neighborhood is getting hit over and over, causing thousands in damage and losses. KGW's Galen Etlin takes us to North Williams Avenue, where a half-dozen businesses have been broken into.
An alarm shrieks in this security video posted on social media. Reclamation was one of the shops hit by a burglar over this last week.
I think a lot of us businesses are getting really desperate.
Lisa Stenger owns Blackthorn Mercantile about a block away. Her door was smashed in this weekend.
It's kind of the wild, wild west out here, and we have to fend for ourselves.
Spielwerk Toys, Eat Oyster Bar, Kayo's Ramen Bar, Vein of Gold, and Grains of Wrath all got hit, and this was not the first time.
It's a big inconvenience right now, you know.
Cody Gripko helps manage Grains of Wrath, which had the front door smashed about a month ago, and again this weekend.
It's not cheap replacing commercial doors all the time, especially in these slow months.
That's what kept them from breaking through.
Larry Leiden co-owns Gifty Kitty on North Mississippi. Someone failed to get in Friday night trying to pry the back door frame apart.
The pandemic and the desperation that people have drive them to do these measures.
Next door, a shop that isn't even open yet has been hit twice. A handwritten sign on the door matches many in this neighborhood, telling would-be thieves there's no cash inside.
What else can we do?
I think that we have a lot of disparity and a lot of addiction, a lot of mental health, and it's all coming to head right now.
Businesses are fed up.
The city's just kind of abandoned us.
Limited police resources, a growing homeless issue, and gentrification are all part of this vicious cycle.
Help these people that are going through these issues that are causing them to do this.
If we took care of people better, probably a lot less of this would be happening.
And with insurance barely covering damages.
Really upsetting.
Lisa Stenger, who has lost tens of thousands of dollars from theft so far, says this neighborhood cannot wait anymore.
I think we're going to lose a lot of businesses.
An alarm she hopes the community will hear. In Portland, I'm Galen Etlin for KGW News.
That is distressing to see and hear. Emergency crews were busy on top of Mount St. Helens this weekend after a climber fell close to 100 feet. Officials say the climber was scaling the icy conditions when she slipped and slid down the mountain. She suffered several cuts and was just too exhausted to get back down the mountain herself. A helicopter rescued her. Luckily, her injuries appear to be minor.